Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 335. Well, we're finally here. We're finally going to talk about this one. Tensou Sentai Dekaranger, and it translates to Space Police Dekaranger. Yep. Now, the first episode opens up with... I'll talk about basically the Rangers soon in a minute, basically, with this one, because Deka Yellow, I have some stuff to talk about her. So, in the very first episode, we see Bon. That's what they refer to him. He has a longer name, but he's referred to as Bon in episode 2. Where he's chasing a criminal on an alien planet in a car chase. Yep, he's basically driving his Deka machine. That's what they refer to him as, basically his Zord. Chase him down, and then of course he gets authorization from the courts to delete him. Yes, I should point out there's something different with this one, because in SPD, they basically were captured and put in the cards. In this series, they're destroyed. Sentenced by the Galactic Court at the center of the universe. So he gets authorization to chase this guy, which, by the way, there's a little strange little fun fact comes to this guy. His full name is Bauman Akasa. So he's chasing a guy called Demiton Don Moya. He disguises himself as a human after he escapes, after supposedly he's destroyed, and then his commander's like, yeah, normally you'd be fired for disobeying a superior officer's orders, but instead you're being sent to Earth to be a detective on the Earth branch of SPD. He's like, cool, I'm going to Earth. And he flies to Earth in his car, and yes, he flies to Earth in his Deka machine. Though he stopped at the barrier for some reason. They're thinking, where the heck this barrier came from? That's a good question of when in the world, because that barrier does come to play a little bit later. But I'm like, where the heck this came from? Because this particular barrier never existed prior to events of the series. Never. And then we cut to Earth. We're introduced to Deka Blue, Deka Yellow, Deka Pink, and Deka Green. Deka Blue is basically, well, his name is Hajo. He was referred to as he was a top student of the academy, and they trusted his judgment because he basically got perfect everything. That wasn't until the events of episode 3. Deka Yellow is an Esper. Pink is basically involved with what happens at the start of this episode when they first see him, where there's a hostage situation. Yes, a hostage situation where a bus is being bus-jacked by an alien. They refer to him as an alienizer. That's the term they use for alien criminals in the series. So we have the police there. By the way, this is not Tokyo. This is Megalopolis. They refer to it, but that's what the case referred to as. It's like, it's the alienizer. Call Dekaranger. Yep, they know immediately what to do. Call Dekaranger, and they call right in, and it's like, yeah. So, and by the way, he's actually defeated by the 4 Rangers that are there, and he's arrested. Using giant handcuffs. Or one was cuffed to him when he's tied up, and he was cuffed to a building. And then when he interrogated, there's apparently like a thing inside of him. Of course, we also see the first appearance of Deka Base, which, yes, this is the same base used in SPD as the main base for the game. We're also introduced in these episodes, the first two, to Doggy Kruger and Anubis and Nubian, which is interesting because that name was also used for his Power Rangers counterpart, Anubis Doggy Kruger. Doggy was his nickname, not his first name like it was in this one. Yeah, we're also used to Swan, an alien woman who's not a cat person this time, like it was over in SPD. Wearing, by the way, the same outfit, pretty much mostly the same kind of look, but not the same alpha per se as their Power Rangers equivalent. So she's responsible for she's the maintenance person of the group. Okay, so and of course they're sent to figure out where this thing came from, like where this partner is, and they basically go out and with their machines, well, with their basically 2 police cars and a motorcycle. The motorcycle is drawn by Deca Blue. We have 1 police car where the occupants are Deca Green and Deca Pink, and Deca Yellow gets her own car. Until basically Bond takes over the next episode. I should talk about, before I take it here, I want to talk about Deca Yellow. The actress herself is also a voice actress. She was in the Japanese dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's voicing Asuzu. Now, here's something interesting about the actress that I found out fairly recently listening to somebody on YouTube. Apparently, at one point, the actress who played Deca Yellow, I'm going to look up the actress's name here. Her character's name is Jasmine. Aya Koshoti. Yep. Oh yeah, she also did the dub for SPD in Japanese. And she's probably this year turning 42. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, apparently at one point this actress was actually involved with a cult at one point. Yep, and that basically kind of ties in a little bit with what happened in 5Ds. When I haven't finished watching the show, so this is basically from somebody I love watching on YouTube, where he did research on this. Where at one point in the show they were using daggers, but then at some point they stopped using the term dagger in the series, and apparently several shows stopped using it, and the reason is quite dumb. Apparently, some idiot in Tokyo decided to stab random people in the streets with a freaking dagger. For some strange reason, this guy decided to do this. This happened in the early 2000s. So I'm not really sure exactly why he did it for, but look this up. It is quite... Oh, I heard about this. This is so bizarre. Random stabbings with a freaking dagger. Yeah, and so basically anytime a dagger pops up in any show, they have to produce simply it's just a knife. This method clearly is a dagger. Yep, and at one point, when Isuzu was, during the later portion of the series, was kind of reduced in the show, according to this person, he said that the reason people would claim because they basically thought they had nothing really for the character, it was actually because the actress was not available to get in a recording booth. Because she had signed up to do a live action TV show. Which one, you might ask? It was some Tokusou show. I think it could have been. I heard it was. I think it may. No, it wasn't Comrade W because she was not one. I'm looking to see exactly who she could have been. It could have been Dekaranger, possibly. I'm thinking it was either. I heard it was some show she was working on. It was a reboot of an old show, and apparently she became completely unavailable to do that role. So that's the reason why she got reduced in the series. Not because basically they show her head because she's a woman. Somebody might claim that, but that's the actual reason for that. So yeah, the actress herself is a bit tragic. It's a bit. She may have done some stuff a lot, but don't judge her for it. But aside from that, let's get back to the main show itself. So, they basically the guy that we have, I think it's Green and Pink, were interrogating. Pink's name is, I believe his name was Uzumo. Umiko, yeah, that's basically her nickname. Shin-chan, that's the guy Green. They're hitting some shop owner who basically is an alien disguised as a human. He's shot by a sniper, and of course they chase after him. Meanwhile, though, this is when Bond comes in and beats a show off, because of course he is, and eventually destroys the guy they were trying to capture, and of course become an idiot. Of course, he get punched for it, and then properly after looking for something, they probably introduce the next episode. Yeah, and apparently he refers to Heiji as his partner, and he says, "Don't call me partner." Yep. So they find out that the guy who apparently they also in the first episode, when they destroyed that android, the basically the robot, the computers start acting up. Yes, they do. Not sure why. And apparently it's revealed that the computer that SPD uses is connected to the Toka computer. I'm like, that's interesting. Hopefully that's going to bite in the butt later on. But that's quite interesting. I've never heard of basically where a Sentai organization has a connection to the real life police department. And, well, one thing I'm quite surprised with this episode, we actually can't see the Metropolitan headquarters for Tokyo. Which I believe this is the second live action show I've seen in it, because last time I saw it was in Kamen Rider Kuga. Of course, I've also seen it mostly in Case Closed. So, yeah, episode 2, when they deal with the giant robot, of course, it turns out the guy, the human, was the guy that Dekaranger basically battled in the beginning of the first episode. And then he judges him, and then basically he executes him when he's found guilty for theft, murder, and a bunch of other stuff. And he kills him instantly with his magnum. So 2 episodes where he destroys the monster. Also, in the case of episode 2, we see the first appearance of the Deca Robo. Yep, and does the whole jumping across buildings thing like that. Basically, hide behind buildings for cover. 3 and 4 is now. By the way, 2 is also an introduction to Brood Ring Sentai counterpart. Agent Abra, who does not get named in the episode, but yeah, he does appear. He also appears in episode 4. Mm-hmm. He's a bat person who looks like when you first see him, he's like hiding from some ceiling. Yeah, where apparently he's financing these people. And the plot of episodes 3 and 4 is that we had the monsters of the episode kidnap a girl to get the stone. And we first hear the party. Also, we see Decker at a shooting gallery actually shoots an old lady. And then Then Blue tries it out and sees him and shoots everyone, including old lady who has a ray gun. Which of course Red didn't know, which Bond didn't notice that first. Yep. So they go and try to rescue the girl. Of course, they confront the guy. They didn't know he had partners at the end of the episode. Which apparently is taking the girl's taken into some particular world. They don't really identify what the heck this place is until like the next episode, where it's basically he brought into cyberspace for reasons, and the plan is going to hand this thing to sell to the highest bidder. Yep. So they do exchange. They reveal that apparently they're parent of survivors of some galactic war. What galactic war? Don't know. So eventually they hand over the stone. Apparently the stone itself has the power to destroy planets. Yeah, by firing energy being right through it. Though it creates a scorch mark and no one questions why the heck there's a scorch mark in it. So they have a trade-off, and of course Pink basically does her disguise because, they had to show that Pink is a mess disguise. So they apparently free the girl, and then you think, case closed. Nope, it turns out the girl they say was actually the partner of the guy. So they find some robots off, they search for him, and of course Hydro is basically very bummed with the situation. Make a mistake, so look at Bond comes in, kicks him, and of course helps him out of his stump, and of course in cyberspace battle the guy. Cross cyberspace, they kind of beat him there, but he ends up basically in control of another robot capture thing, and of course eventually destroy with their the Deca Robo. But really good 4 episodes. I really enjoyed these ones. And can't wait to discuss the rest. Okay? So yeah, that's a particular view. Next up we have a comic corner. I'm going to rest my voice for a bit, and then basically I'm going to watch the next 4 episodes of Dekaranger. Okay, next view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, notifications, and do any of this like booking. Bye.